Give it a moment. Give it a moment. There we go. Haha. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you are excited for this one, right? Back to the Femboy Street Racer, indeed. This one maybe hasn't had like too much in the way of updates. They've added a photo mode and several other bug fixes here and there, but otherwise not much change. But hey, we can perhaps maybe head back here for a little bit, do a little racing, get a little extra money, and just use it as like an intermission and just chat about stuff while I go take down random enemies for their points, right? Probably a good idea to build up some bank anyway, Whenever they do add the next story update, we can be ready for it, so... Yeah, why don't we just, like, start here and see where things take us, Do I want to enter the course? Yes, I do. Hello again to the loops, yeah. Of all the games to come out this year, I think this was like the earliest one that came out, and people were like, "Oh wow, this is actually pretty good," right? And I think it's good just by being virtue of being itself, right? They didn't try to change too much about it. No, this is like the Tokyo Xtreme Racer you know and love, right? Bit of a graphical update, maybe a little extra mechanics here and there, but otherwise, the loop is the same as before, right? Pun kinda sorta intended. Yeah, they didn't fix things that weren't broken, right? And try to reinvent the wheel or anything. I think it also helps that it's also a continuation of the older games, right? Like, from what I've read, like, a bunch of the characters you see in this game are also in older games, and just, like, continue the story, right? I think one of the episodes here also kind of touches on that, right? It's like, oh yeah, the old beasts who have been around for a while, and times are changing, and how are we gonna sort of handle the changing times, right? How will we adjust to it? I like that, right? Was there anything else that you saw that was dormant for a while and then came out and became like super popular, at the very least was well received because by virtue of just like being itself, right? The other one I can think of probably is yeah, the other one I can think of off the top of my head is like Dr. Mario from the Smash Brothers series, right? Because he was introduced in Melee, and people didn't like him too much because this is basically just like Mario with a different costume and maybe like slightly different properties to the moves, but otherwise very much like a clone of Mario. Took him out for Brawl. But they also changed like Mario's moveset, so like the down special, instead of being a Mario Tornado, turned into the Flood, which I guess they were just like updating it for Mario's current state. But yeah, it was a change. People was like, all right, I guess things are different now. But then 3DS and Wii U brought back Dr. Mario. They kept Dr. Mario the same as he was. And by that, I mean they kept him with the Melee moveset and everything. And people took to him better, right? Because now he's actually different, right? Because he has a different down special and, the different properties, I guess people kind of took to him better. So they were like, yeah, welcome back, Dr. Mario. I guess Pichu would be another one, right? Because Pichu in Melee was not that well received, right? The whole self-damage thing was like a bit too much of a gimmick for him, and they didn't have too much going for him otherwise. They disappeared, didn't come back until Ultimate, but then Ultimate also added like a rage mechanic where characters would have like extra knockback when they hit certain damage thresholds, right? And then suddenly Pichu's whole self-damage thing was like kind of neat risk-reward mechanic, and that was pretty cool, right? So again, they didn't change anything about Pichu, but the way the game kind of changed in the period between Melee and Ultimate, and people were like, "Yeah, Pichu, welcome back. We missed you." That's pretty cool. One that stands out is Fatal Fury City of Wolves, first game in like 26 years. Oh yeah! Yeah, and people liked it too, right? And they had like some of the old mechanics from that game too, right? Yeah, I know a lot of people were into it. Yeah, I remember like what the thing that kind of stood out to me the most was like how you were able to like pick a section of the health bar, right? And if your health was within that range, you could do like a extra special move. And the fact that they kept it for City of the Wolves was kind of cool, right? It's like a nice nod to the old game. I can appreciate that. Like, I know it's not like a one-to-one with the mechanic's not like one-to-one with the old game, but the fact that they have like the major part of it being, okay, select a section of the health bar, and this is where you will get some extra buffs and can do your super special move there. Also, I just noticed they changed the way the sort of the pre-race music plays now, right? And now it's like you get the snip of it, then it fades out. Before it used to be like it would play all the way up to the race begins, and then it would transition to the race music. Not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it's a minor thing, so it's like, well, whichever way to decide to do it, it's fine. I think the fade out is kind of weird, but that's just me. It's not gonna like break the game or anything like that for me. It's just an interesting decision they made, right? Interesting decision for their sound design. All right, next we'll race against you. This session, there's really nothing we gotta do, right? We just drive. Sure, there's like a bunch of hidden racers I could go for, but considering they have like more esoteric requirements, we can wait for that, right? To think all of this is so easy now after being on Struggle Street with some of those rivals and stuff, oh yeah. I still remember that one night. Granted, that was like more of a me thing. I was like switching vehicles off to like a actually worse vehicle, and I was wondering, wait, why am I suddenly not defeating the rivals? Have you actually tried using a car that's been upgraded to a degree? That probably... If I realized that earlier, maybe we wouldn't have had that spiral there. But yeah, now it's like, oh man. I like it, right? It's like that sense of progression, right? It's like, oh yeah. You know, actually getting the win used to be a challenge and a half, and now it's like, oh, you just go out there, grind a little cash, and go back. I had that same feeling with Elden Ring, where it was like, you know, even if the stat ups were much more marginal, you know, you spend a little time you know, getting enough runes to up your stats and hit certain thresholds, you can equip like better gear. And the moment you like equip that better gear, it's like all that other stuff that used to give you so much trouble, it's like not that bad anymore. And you know where that really hit? It was like with the very end of the game, because there's this one particular area you can use to farm for runes. Like before you got the one weapon, you know, it's still a good place to get a bunch of runes, but you're gonna spend a little time kind of getting it. But once you get that particular weapon, it's like, oh man, your rate of rune acquisition just absolutely skyrockets, right? at the point where it's like, oh yeah, you just like, you know, go to the passage, you activate the special move, watch the wave of destruction just kill everything, and then get your runes, go back, rinse, repeat, and suddenly it's like, oh, wow. Suddenly farming runes, this is like no problem anymore. But yeah, it's getting over that hurdle is kind of like the thing, right? It's like before that, you're just fighting for every little bit you can get. But once you finally overcome that hurdle and you're like, you get the good thing going and feels like you're just firing on all cylinders, it's pretty nice, right? It's pretty nice. All right, I think I'm gonna hit a parking area soon. Fortunately, the route I'm on, it's not gonna take me there. I'm gonna have to go around this loop and then go back down this way to get there. I could also like stop racing people because that will stop the tire degradation. Since I'm only fighting like small bees anyway, you know. It's all about the catharsis. Like how you once you get all the upgrades unlocked in Saints Row 2 and 3, etc., it's a different game once you unlock invincibility and infinite ammo. Oh yeah. That's for sure. It's like before you had to try to watch where you're going, make sure you take out enemies, pick them off little by little. Once you get enough ammo or health or yeah, you get the invincibility and infinite ammo, you're like, alright. Now you can just steamroll everything, right? I actually made it a point to like avoid those upgrades, right? It's like, yeah, I like getting better, but I don't want to like reach the point where I want to at least feel like there's some element of danger to it. I guess that's the thing. It's like maybe once I reach a point where it's like, okay, I just want to go ahead and wreck everything and feel like king of the world, then I'll get those. But till then, I'll still manage with my upgraded health and limited ammo reserves. I think there was an upgrade in that game that also let you dual-wield things, but I deliberately also did not pick that up because, I don't know, it felt like it didn't fit my character, you know? Like the character I was playing as in Saints Row 3 and 4 was not the type of person who would just like pull out 2 pistols and go blam blam blam, right? They were the type of person who would like pull out the 1 pistol and go for like the precision shots, and that was like the kind of thing I was going for, right? Do you like how your health regenerates when you're near death if you take a quick rest? Yeah. That's nice, right? Or like in the older games where you could just like quickly pop a food item and get yourself a quick burst heal that way. Alright. We're slip sliding now. Yep, dual wielding SMGs were my thing when taking on Decker Specialist, I bet. Dual wielding SMGs is like a different thing, right? Because SMGs are like a bullet hose, and why not? If it's all about the fire rate, then you may as well double it, right? I guess that would be the thing where dual wielding would be fine, but I remember correctly, dual wielding was like the thing that would be applied for all weapons, right? You couldn't choose to like just dual wield SMGs or dual wield pistols or something like that. That's why I kind of avoided it. Admittedly, with the way the game was, late game I kind of used assault rifles anyway, so I guess it didn't matter too much that I didn't dual wield pistols and SMGs or not. Need that with how annoying those teleports the specialists did. Oh, you know what? That's a good point, right? If they just go around everywhere, then yeah, might as well just adopt a spray and pray strat and just, you know, even if you only get them a few times, at least that's a little bit of health you took from them. Wasn't a fan of laser rifles, they overheated too fast. Ah. was an interesting period of time, right? When every game seemed to have like the energy weapon, ballistic weapon dichotomy, where it's like, yeah, your ballistic weapons would have like the magazines and everything, and the energy weapons would have the overheat mechanic. Right? They could be plasma, they could be laser, but that's what they had. Reaper drone was a fun weapon to cause chaos. What did that one do again? If there's a drone, I'm assuming you could just like launch it and then it would just go off on its own and shoot foes indiscriminately. Yeah. Sorry, I played Remnant 2 recently and I got a class. Like, the class's ability is to send out a drone and they would like do random things. Wait. Was the parking garage in the other direction, perhaps? Okay, so if I go left, then I'll run to a parking garage. I'm essentially going to be taking a loop I did before, but that's fine. Suitcase, you control the drone, you could either blind fire or control it to your target. Ah, okay, okay. A good directed weapon is nice too, right? I don't know. Weapon that lets you like bring out little buddies to fight for you. That's a fun time. More targets for them to shoot at, a little bit of extra free DPS for you. Hard to say no to that, right? It's like the one weapon in Perfect Dark. I think actually is also a suitcase weapon, but also is like that turret mode you could just like throw out, cover a corner, go off, do your own thing while that thing will potentially blast other foes. I like the suitcase gun for that. Boy, I hope we hear more about Perfect Dark soon. The teaser they had at the last year's Xbox Showcase event was like really promising. I really hope they have like another video for us or something, because man, they left a good first impression with that video. If the final game ends up being something like that, then it'll be fine, right? If it ends up being sort of like a Deus Ex-like, I think I'll be into it, you know? Alright, the tires are all fixed up so we can get back out there. My plan is we'll probably like race down these expressways for an hour, right? We'll race down expressways for an hour, get our points, build out our wallet, and then we'll move on to the final thing. I wish FPS games would like bring it back secondary fire modes, right? And not just like your expected secondary fire modes, like a sniper rifle having like a zoom in function or something like that. I want some crazy stuff, right? Give me stuff like you would see in like Unreal Tournament or something, right? Where you'd like have the rocket launcher that could either fire a propelled rocket or just like a dummy rocket, or like the Link rifle that either shoots like rapid fire plasma bullets or a continuous beam, or like the Redeemer weapon, which either lets you like just dumb fire a missile or have the camera controlled missile, right? I want to see things like that. Give us more crazy secondary fire modes. This is probably a random question, but what is there like your favorite secondary firing mode of a weapon in a game? I think my favorite would probably have to go to the Redeemer again. It's not real satisfying with just like guiding a missile to your opponent or to a group of opponents and just like watching all the people just die, right? And then the announcer just goes like monster kill, like monster kill, kill. Super satisfying. Just watch your score skyrocket from it. The flip side part of it was fun too, where if perhaps you were like a bit too careless with guiding the missile, someone sees it and shoots it down. I think the later versions would have the announcer go, "Denied." It's like, yeah, you messed up, right? You could have had yourself a glorious multi-kill, but you were a bit too careless with steering the missile and someone saw it and shot it out of the air, so no super weapon kill for you. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? I guess the Enforcer from Unreal Tournament was also kind of fun in a silly way. Right, because primary fire, it's a pistol, and primary fire, you just shoot it, right? Shoot it regularly, and then the secondary fire is you turn the gun sideways, and that somehow increases its fire rate. I remember a lot of people were kind of making fun of it, right? A gun whose functionality is basically you flip it sideways, and it somehow makes it fire faster. Right? It's like, oh, suddenly you're firing gangsta style. And the best part is, like, you could dual-wield Enforcers, too, so you could totally have it, like, both pistols turned sideways, and you could really just, like, go gangsta style on your enemies. Man, I miss Unreal Tournament. I wish Epic had delisted that old Unreal Tournament. So all we can do now is just hope that maybe id Software decides to come back with a multiplayer Quake. Won't be the same, but it'll be what we got, right? The rockets from the heavy machine gun in Doom and the sniper mode. Oh yeah, I like the rockets. Especially when you get like the rocket upgrade that just lets you fire. It basically turns the rocket mode into like a secondary fire mode. You don't have to load up six rockets and then launch them out, and then load up 6 rockets again and launch them out. You can just launch it indiscriminately, right? Basically, then your machine gun just has 2 modes, right? Just fire bullets or fire rockets. Sniper gun was fun too, although it took till Eternal to actually give it a use, right? It became mandatory to actually mitigate some of the enemy's advantages. Are you looking forward to the Dark Ages? I'm looking forward to it. Everything they've shown so far looks to be pretty good, and it seems like the reviews that have come out so far are like, yeah, you know what, this is a pretty good one of those. Combat seems like it's like a bit more forgiving than Eternal was, in so much that you're not required to juggle like a ton of different weapons and abilities to just feel like you have a fighting chance against enemies. But still not to the degree of like 2016, where you're just given a lot of freedom with how you want to like approach the battle, right? Looks good, yeah. I hope the OST will be as much of a banger as 26 and Eternal is, yeah. You know, I didn't check. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'll take it out of my bill. Yeah. I forget, is Mick Gordon returning to do the soundtrack for Eternal? I can't imagine they would be, considering Eternal, like, was a pretty sour note for both sides. Returnal is just brutal, just thrown into the wolves on the deep end. Yeah, especially on higher difficulties, right? You pretty much have to understand, like everything your weapons do and, you know, the ways to, like, you know, manage each enemy. And you gotta do it in the heat of battle, too, right? Fortunately, it's not like a strategy game where you have, like, infinite time to figure out your plan of attack. You gotta figure out what you need to do, like, very quickly. Otherwise, they're gonna overwhelm you. The one thing I did read about Dark Ages is that it still kind of leans fairly heavily into the story aspect of it. Much like Eternal did, right? You know, it's not like absolutely overbearing, but there's a lot of cutscenes and things like that, right? Which kind of is a contrast to 2016. It's like, one of the things I liked about 2016 was that cutscenes were like short, and they were all first person too. And like, I just like the whole vibe of, oh yeah, there's like a whole plot going on in the background, but Doomslayer does not give a fuck about that. His only goal is to kill all the demons and seal off hell. Doesn't matter what the consequences of that are. And the degree of like not giving a shit he has with like the overall world setting and everything was like refreshing. And then Eternal kind of went in the opposite direction. It was all about just like fleshing out the lore of the Doomslayer and like the demons in hell and everything, and it was like, eh. I mean, it was all still like kind of cool and whatever, but eh, I don't know. I just noticed my phone has completely disconnected now for some reason or another. Like, VTube Studio is still running, but for some reason it's just not, like, not switching back to streamer mode. I need to check on that as soon as I'm done with this. I hope they've done away with the Tomb Raider parkour elements. Yeah, I can get behind that. They got a little excessive in Eternal. It didn't feel like anything more than filler, really. Right, it was there to just like pad out the going from one battle to another. But yeah, if they don't like add any sort of like new movement abilities or anything like that, I'm fine if they kind of dial it back for Dark Ages. The other thing I did read about is like the additions they did have, right? The flying on the dragon and the mech parts. People seem to be pretty positive about that. They're like, yeah, no, this is pretty awesome, right? It doesn't feel like it disrupts the flow of the game too much. So that's pretty cool, right? Glad for that, at least. Also, the 1-ups. I don't know how I feel about that. On one hand, it's nice to have like that sort of insta-revive if you like mess up, right? But it also applied if you messed up learning the parkour segments and stuff, and so that didn't feel too great. And you know, when you reach the point where you run out of lives and you just gotta retry the battle from the beginning, it's like, well, okay. That brings another layer of decision making. It's like, okay, I got through this firefight, but I lost a bunch of lives. Do I want to retry this again and maybe try not losing as many lives? It's like, eh. I want them to stick with like one thing or the other. It's like, okay, do you want to have either a fixed number of on-the-spot revives, or do you just want players to retry from the beginning of a firefight if they end up losing? Bring back the almighty Cyber Demon. Oh, hey, I forgot I was already racing someone. Alright. Better pop the nitro. Get back here. I do wonder, like, what the final boss of Dark Ages is gonna be like, right? Like, what sorts of glorious enemy are they gonna throw at us? Because, yeah, they ended with Spider Mastermind in 2016, and then Eternal had the giant cyber demon, and then that guy for the DLC. We're already riding a dragon, so I don't know if they'll have us fight a dragon, but I guess that wouldn't be too out there. I think someone mentioned they also brought in, like, Lovecraft. You know, as if, like, demons and undead weren't enough, and now we're dealing with, like, another variety of old god. It's like, sure, why not, right? Just have, like, a Cthulhu stand-in. Have Doomslayer slay those as well. Take out all the Eldritch abominations. They could get some ideas from some of the DMZ bosses? They could. Like, what DMC bosses do you think would kind of slot into Doom? Which ones would you put in there? Because the only one that comes to mind for me is, like, the magma arachnid from the first game. Feels like it would be a pretty natural fit into the Doom universe. Furia Taurus. I'm assuming that's a bull? I'm assuming that's a bull because of Taurus. Ogre Sax to Chaos. Sounds like a Legion type of enemy. I guess they would they have at least, like, one human-shaped enemy, right? Just like a rival Doomslayer or something you have to face off against. That might be interesting. Woo! Wait, is the parking garage up ahead, or did I already? Oh no, it's over here. Oh no, I went past it. Alright. Well, I hope they don't mind if I double back, because I need to restore my tires. Good thing they have this off spot here. I can go. Oh, that's because it's an off ramp. Y'all don't mind, right? Magma Minotaur with a huge staff. Oh, okay. Nefstarius would make a great boss with it being a living skyscraper. Haha. I like that kind of boss, right? The boss that's just towers over you, and part of the fight is just, like, getting up to its weak point. It's always a fun time. All right, I want to check on my phone real quick. Oh yeah, this thing is hot. I don't get it. My room's, like, pretty cool, so maybe I should take it off. Yeah, take it off for now. That will hopefully help keep things down. Start VTube Studio on the phone again, see how things go. Live tech support. Okay, there we go. This isn't gonna last long, but I guess we can keep it this way until I need to charge it back up again, right? Alright. Back out here. I'm gonna... Oh wait. I want to go in the other direction, actually. I want to go this way. go. I'll have to take on some more rivals. Like you. The nameless one. Oh. There's another bit of news that happened actually not that long ago that I'm happy about. It was like one of the topics I wanted to talk about but never got around to it, but you probably know that I talked about Giant Bomb, right? It's like every now and then it's like a video game website that I used to frequent a lot and I was really into. They were in some dire straits for a bit because ever since they were bought by the company Fandom, they were kind of getting screwed over here and there, and it reached a tipping point when I guess they were reprimanded for some reason or another, and the company set them some like PG-13 guidelines, and they were all like kind of riffing on it for one of their podcasts. And then some of them came out later and said, yeah, I'm not with the site anymore, right? And it just looked like, oh no, this is going to be the end, the actual end, right? They've been through thick and thin before, but this felt like it would have been the actual swan song for the site. And then just this weekend, I think at PAX East, they had a panel where they said they were able to buy the site, right? They were able to get it, and now they're independent again. Right, so the site is wholly owned by them, and they can do whatever they want and not be beholden to any corporate overlords, so... Giant Bomb, it's still a threat. They've gone ahead and, like, reopened memberships, and they're like, yeah, can't wait to go ahead with some new ideas and everything, and it's like... Yeah, good luck to them, right? Good on them. Glad the site gets to live on, in some way, at least. I don't know, I remember when I frequented the site a lot, and I was always thinking, man, you know that the old guys are eventually going to retire and move on, but you hope they leave the groundwork for the new fellas to kind of carry the torch, right? And it almost looked like that wasn't going to happen, right? It almost looked like Giant Bomb was just going to be another victim of just corporate bullshit, but they managed to pull it off. They got the site back, and that makes me unreasonably happy. Or maybe reasonably happy, I'm not sure, but yeah. I'm eager to see where they go from here, but the possibilities are endless, you know? Here's hoping they can keep on trucking. Yeah, you know how it is when the corporate types get into it with their advertising and all that BS, especially with Fandom. There have been a lot of complaints with Fandom, just like over the past few years, that all the wikis they have are just completely ad infested, right? If you don't have any ad blockers, you like go in there, you can barely get what you want from it. Right, it's to the point where it's like they have browser extensions now where if you try to go to a Fandom site, the extension will suggest another wiki for you, right? It's like not a Fandom wiki, you can just not go there, right? Because screw that. Like, even Vampire Survivors started their own wiki, right? And it was like a significant enough thing that they made a whole separate announcement for it. It's like, yeah, now you can go to vampiresurvivors.wiki instead of having to go to the Fandom site and you know, getting your system bogged down with like a bazillion ads. Yeah, there's plenty of alternatives, right? You have wiki.gg, you have the Miharaze, you have .wiki, right? If you want to start a wiki anywhere but Fandom, it's probably a good place. Same can't be said for another publication, Polygon. It was just like one day you saw an article that was just suddenly, oh yeah, they got sold to another company, and all the majority of the core staff was like laid off too. And the company that bought them is known for just doing the whole article churn and being very, very terrible to their employees. So it's like, eh. Unfortunately for them, doesn't seem like there's any good recourse for that. In that regard, I think we'll probably see another like independent publication come up sometime down the line, right? Made up of the remnants of the Polygon staff. Here's hoping they all land on their feet, right? No matter where they may go. Good lord, those flashing tunnel lights. Yeah, it can be jarring, can be irritating. I get that. I guess for this year, the batting average for game publications might be like 2 out of 3. Still remember how Game Informer was just suddenly resurrected from the dead, right after GameSpot just like took it out back and kind of just like capped it. And the guys are like, nah, we got it back. And they even had articles for the interim, right? It's like, oh yeah, we also reviewed some things and wrote about some things that happened while we were offline. Granted, there's been some misgivings about like the people who rescued him, right? Because you know apparently they're like into crypto and stuff. But on the other hand, as long as that doesn't kind of get its hands on Game Informer, we'll take it, right? It's like on the one hand, the enemy of the enemy is my friend. On the other hand, maybe there are some enemies that will remain enemies, right? Even if you are also opposed to the same thing, there are certain other values they hold that are like, no, I can't, right? I can't support that still, you know? There was some other news that caught my eye. Street Fighter 6 and Overwatch are having a crossover. In both games too, apparently. It's like Overwatch 2 is gonna get a bunch of outfits based on some Street Fighter characters, and I guess Street Fighter 6 is gonna have some Overwatch 2 stuff. Whatever that may be. I'm guessing it's gonna be costumes, right? We're gonna just have like costumes for certain characters. Maybe avatar gear as well. I really enjoyed Street Fighter 6 when it came out. I played through the World Tour, had a good time of it, but I really haven't picked it up since, right? I got the Season 1 pass. I haven't gotten the Season 2 pass, even though they do have like the two, they have Terry and Mai, along with the two returnees. Really don't like how Capcom has aged and changed their cast of characters? I can understand that to an extent. It's a double-edged sword, right? It's like, on one hand, you want to see like the story progression. On the other hand, if you really, really like the older version of the character, just seeing the newer version kind of takes it out of you. And you do see, like, Capcom does try to strike a balance, right, with how they let you pick the classic versions of some characters. But on the other hand, right, like, some other characters just don't return to the game at all, and that can be a bummer. On the other hand, if the update is well done, then it's, like, fine, right? Like, I remember when they brought back, was it Karen and Sakura for Street Fighter V, and I kind of like both of the updates they did for those two, right? Just felt like a natural progression of how things would go, right? And they got updated outfits too that still kind of harken back to their originals in a way. Especially Karen's, right? Still fit her character, just like being the rich Ojo-sama, but still had the coloring scheme and style and everything befitting her old version and everything, so I don't know. I kind of dug that. Okay, should probably enter the parking garage and get the tires replaced again. But yeah, on the other hand, you get something like Akuma looking like a lion or something with the hair and the beard, or how they like tried to change him into, I think, Oni or something for one of the other games. It's like, maybe that one not so much. Yeah, it's like, if the update is good, then hey, all good, but if it ends up looking worse, then it's like, oh wait, at least give us a costume or something of the old version so we can pretend that the old version is in there. Bison's OG red outfit with the cap and cloak will always be the one to have. Yeah, that's true. There are some other outfits that are just like too iconic. Try to change them up and it's like, wait, where's the old version? We missed the old version. Although I'm remembering, was it once Street Fighter V's Ryu alternate costume actually became popular with people, right? There's a reason why it got the nickname Hot Ryu. Found that pretty amusing. Or you get something like Ken in Street Fighter 6, who's fallen into some hard times and is also has like the appearance to go with it. We're like, oh man, there's like Hobo Ken now or something. I think he drove a Porsche 911 Turbo in the animated manga film. Wait, he did? Is that just like there to show off his status? Like, look at me, I'm controlling a giant organization, and I have so much money I can spend it on things like this really expensive car. A red 911 Turbo. Kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's always crazy when you just see like product placement just in the most unexpected of places like that. I think Guile is rocking a Mustang. Of course. Of course! Good old Ford, right? Because he is the American. Gotta rep the country. Yeah, Mr. Go Home and Be a Family Man. You should have been driving a minivan then, right? You should have been driving like a Ford Windstar or something like that, right? Nah, a kid. Were there any other characters driving cars? Like, what other cars did they feature, if any? I was about to say, what car would Ryu drive? But then Ryu wouldn't drive a car. No, he would just walk everywhere. That's kind of his whole thing. That would mean Capcom would need to give him a dad bod. He used to say he can't work out, right? He could do that. Those two were the main ones. I guess it makes sense. Bison being the chief bad guy, and I guess they would try to make Guile like a major player. And, yeah. Cars! America! It goes together, right? Battle of the Hair, Guile versus Paul Phoenix. Gotta love those flat tops, am I right? I was about to say Phoenix right, but he has like a different hairstyle. Although it's no less absurd for it. Kind of hairstyle that makes you think, probably spend like several hours just putting in all the gel to make sure it stays that way, right? Make sure no stray winds or anything suddenly undoes the whole thing, because that would be unfortunate. Or maybe it'd be like that one comic where it's like amateurs. What was that? You just see like Yugi Moto in the distance going, amateurs. Well, you thought your flat tops and hair spikes were crazy? Well, try out my mysteriously triple-colored hair with random spikes. Yeah! Oops. My bad. Go on with your day. If his is days, Yami Yugi's must be weeks. Yeah, exactly, right? You gotta get the colors right, and then you gotta get the spikes right, too. You gotta make sure it's viewable from every angle, even. A lot of things you gotta factor in there, you know? Oh yeah, we can challenge him. Are there any other characters with like the absurd hairstyles that just makes you think, how does that all come together? Trying to think. Probably like anyone with a pompadour. Although pompadour is like a hairstyle you could actually do in real life. It's just like, imagine all the effort you have to go through to make sure it stays that way. Just imagine like what happens if it unfortunately just like something happens to it and becomes undone. Super Saiyan Goku's the super long version he has, it's like supersonic on steroids. Oh yeah. The hair is even, like, interestingly constructed too, right? It's not like just a long set of locks. It's like more like a bunch of hair tufts, kind of. It looks like a bunch of hair tufts just like put together. I mean, I guess it's supposed to like give the impression that's like super messy, but it almost looks like fur to me, you know? Rather like Zoroark's back fur. Yes, exactly like that. Zoroark. Jessie from Team Rocket. Oh, right, yeah, that's also a good choice. Her hair just, like, completely launches out to the side like that. Another style that would definitely take a lot of gel to maintain and everything. Honestly, there's probably like a good number of shonen protagonists that would probably fit in there, because it seems like almost like a prerequisite that if you're a shonen protagonist, you're gonna have a crazy hairstyle. Which I get it. You know, it lets you signal very quickly that they are the main character and they're gonna stand out in the crowd. But it's still funny to think about. Someone just like at the drawing board thinking, okay, so what kind of hairstyle should I give my next character? Ah, yes, I'm gonna give them a lot of spikes, and it'll go this way and that way, and it'll be shaped like this, because they're this kind of character. Frankie from One Piece looks like a pompadour and a gun had a baby. Wow. I'm just imagining that in my head. Whoa. It's like a pompadour, but it's like hollowed out in the middle? Is that? That's what I'm imagining it looks like. Like the kind of thing you could like stick a cannonball in or something. Is that his special ability? Just like shoots cannonballs from his pompadour? Because that would be pretty amusing if so. Yeah, it's got a proper barrel. Alright. You know what? I can roll with that, you know? Why not? We're here for crazy, wacky times, right? That's why we're into this whole anime business, right? Give us over-the-top, just crazy, impossible things that would not happen in real life. I love every second of it. Alright. Should probably enter the next parking garage I see, which won't be here for a while, but I guess we'll be good for like one more tire change, and then we can perhaps wrap up this night in back in Tokyo. Sorry about that. Can I challenge you, though? Could you imagine that in real life? Someone just, like, rear ends you. It's like, oh, sorry, I actually just wanted to challenge you to a race. Are you still good for a race? Probably like, no. You totaled my car. How am I supposed to race you now? You also totaled your own car. going crazy styles, but some of the colors too. Oh yeah! It's like anime that kind of brought over the idea of everyone just having hair colors that just ran the entire spectrum, right? Not just like the human shades that you're used to. Now, once again, Yugi would probably be a good example of that, right? Him with his tri-colored hair. That really only works if you're looking at it from one perspective. But yeah, just like a whole bunch of people with like, you know, blue, green, bright red, pink, all that good stuff. And okay, gonna have to fly by that one. Where's the next garage? I'll manage. I always manage. A fade in there from purple to red. Oh yeah, yeah. And they started introducing like characters with gradients, or especially amongst like the VTuber scene, people that have like hair, or the outwards part of the hair is one color, and then the inside part of the hair is a different color, right? It's like someone might have like brown hair on the outside, but the inside is like blue hair or something like that. When it comes to anime hair colors, like the sky really is the limit, isn't it? You don't have to just stick with the one color. You can completely go out there. A lot of pastel colors, yeah. A lot of pinks and light blues. Yeah, especially pink and baby blue. Yeah. Right? Like me! I mean, I know I have like a lot of dark blue on my outfit too, but I have the light blue hair. But I also like the light blue hair color. Or just like light blue color in general. But yeah, you also see like the pastel green and things like that. Uh-oh. Oh boy, barely eked that one out. It's definitely because of the tires, right? Like, yeah, we got quite a ways till the next parking garage, so I wonder if I should just drive. Or actually, you know what, it hasn't been quite an hour, but maybe we can wrap things up here, right? Just call it a night. Turn the garage. My hair color really reminds me of James from Team Rocket. Oh yeah, like the sort of light purplish style. I kind of dug that color too. Like before I decided to stick with light blue, there's another site I went to that had like a little avatar you could create, and I did pick like a purple color for my hair there. Do I want to switch to Angel, or do I want to keep? Nah, I want to keep Magician. I like being a magician. Well, that was a pretty good night. 2.5 million points. And all we had to pay was 150,000 for tires. Everything else was pure profit. Now go ahead and save. And yeah. I love that James isn't afraid to play dress up, he just rolls with it. Yeah! You know what, I noticed that, right? Even as a kid, I was like, oh, you know, he just willingly gets into whatever clothes that's needed, right? It doesn't matter if it's like men's clothes or women's clothes. He's like, hey, I look fabulous, and I'm gonna play my part, and I'm gonna love it, and it was pretty cool, right? It's the guy who's like, I will wear what I want, you know? It's pretty cool. Well, anyways, that has been a revisit to Tokyo Xtreme Racer. Still looking forward to further updates, right, when they get their big a story update, definitely give it another go. But for now, it was a good night of just driving around, getting more bank for the future, and just chatting and stuff. But I think I will move on to the third game now, the final game, Squirrel with a Gun. So I'll see you in a bit.